Hi, I'm Kara Stanford. This is the Marketing Spaces. Thank you so much for looking at this webinar, your go-to guide for creating a marketing plan that works. Hopefully you've grabbed your template marketing plan so you can be filling that in as we go along. First of all, a little caveat. I do teach this over a 5-week course. It's a 5-week course for a reason. Please don't think that by the end of this webinar, you're going to go away knowing all the answers. What you're going to go away with is knowing what you have to do. Then you are going to have to put time in to make it happen. So let's just set that expectation. So I normally teach this over a 5-week course called Design a Successful Marketing Pipeline. Right, so what are we going to achieve by the end of this webinar? Well, your end goal is to know how to create a marketing plan which is full of the right marketing and sales activities at every stage of the buyer's journey or the marketing pipeline. You want a marketing plan that is going to give you strong marketing qualified leads. So that means that you know that people are really interested in what you're offering. They're not just casual observers or having a look at it for fun. They're actually thinking, oh, I need this product. I need this service. And so they are ready to move into sales. You also want to have a marketing plan which makes it easy to measure how effective your marketing and sales activities are individually and together. So that measurement is really important. A lot of people say to me, we don't know which bits of our marketing are working. You're not alone. This is a very common problem. So that's why I'm very hot on the measurement side. And we also want you to be able to know what's coming down. So your marketing pipeline. So your marketing plan should allow you to see, oh, actually, in 2 months' time, oh, it's not looking so good. I don't think I'm going to have any customers. Or, oh my gosh, in 2 months' time, I'm going to be inundated. So I need to figure out how to either service them or how to slow things down. So this is your end goal when it comes to creating a marketing plan. So, as I said, hopefully you've grabbed the template and you need to fill this plan in. This plan, as you can see, follows the marketing pipeline, taking people from being completely unaware that you exist down to adopting your products or services. So that means they're giving you money, through to being loyal customers. So keep thinking about it as a journey, and each stage is really different and distinct, but they do flow into each other. By the end, you're going to have something that looks like this. If it looks daunting, please don't worry. I'm going to show you step by step how to create this. And you'll go, oh, yes, that's pretty easy. As I said, it just takes time to sit there and figure it out. This is marketing, not rocket science. So let's crack on your 5 steps to creating a marketing plan that works. Step 1, set your adopting goal. What? Yeah, I know. The goal is down here where I've put in 4 new clients per month. Why do we start there? Start there, and I will explain why as we go through. So start by saying how many new clients, what might be pieces of work, sales you want a month. Then move up to the considering stage. Say, well, to get that many new clients a month, I know that I have to have 12 inquiries, because if I have 12 inquiries, 1 in 3 of them converts to a new client. Okay, to get that many inquiries, I need to have 3 times the amount of downloads of my ebook, my lead magnet, whatever it is that you offer. So that is 36 downloads a month. And now you go to your awareness goal. Well, to get that many downloads a month, I need to have at least double the amount of those people become aware of me each month. And these are new people, people who don't know you're existing. And they have to be the right people. They have to be people that ultimately could buy from you, not kind of people that are just vaguely interested or want to get you information for free and never give you money. So that means I need to reach 72 new right people per month. Why do I make you do it this way round? And then, by the way, loyalty, you're always looking at things like the lifetime value of your customers. You want that to be as much as it can be. And you also want recommendations, referrals. So I always do it this way around, because when people start with awareness goals, frankly, we get a little bit, whoa, vanity metrics. I want to have 1,000 followers on Instagram. I want to have 5,000 likes every time I put a LinkedIn post out there. I want to have my ads reaching millions. How many do you actually need? And doing it this way makes you go, oh, well, finding 72 of right people per month. That's a really focused LinkedIn campaign. Or actually, I could achieve that by going to one networking event, another with an advert, and that all of a sudden becomes quite doable and achievable. So start by setting your adopting goal, then set the rest. Step two, figure out what information they actually need at each stage. This is all about them. What do they want to know? What are they looking for? What's going to grab their attention? And I've put some examples in here. So it could be right at awareness. I know that what people really love is how-to tips. Okay, once they're a little bit more interested, they might want to watch or read my how-to guide. Then it's actually at the considering stage when they're thinking, do I choose the marketing spaces or do I choose another option? They want proof. They want lots of proof at the considering stage that you can do what you actually say you can do and that your value is there. So you've got to give them proof. Great, they've become a client. Well, a really nice thing that they want at this point is a welcome pack. And then it's snippets of value, staying in touch with my previous clients. So you've got to figure out what they need. And this is going to be unique to your customer persona. And that's why having a customer persona is really, really important, because you can keep referring back to it and going, well, do they really want that? So for example, I would happily just give all of you articles. I would just write, lock myself away and write stuff. No, people don't want just articles. They want webinars. They want books. They want videos. They want a lot more than that. And that knowledge has come from studying and understanding my customer personas. So you've got to understand your customer persona. And to give you an idea of how important personas and understanding your customer persona is I spend an entire fifth of my 5-week course focusing on this because it is that important, and we keep coming back to it. We keep coming back to going, oh, that's a new piece of info you've got about your persona, pop it in there. So think about the information they want at each stage of the marketing pipeline. Put it in there. Then step two is how you're going to give them that information. Again, it's all about them. And this is called your marketing communications mix or your marcoms mix or your comms mix. So this is often the type of stuff that people think of as marketing, to be honest, because it's things like the infographics, the adverts, it might be your socials, it might be downloadable guides. Proof everywhere is things like your reviews, your testimonials, where you're putting them on your website, on your profiles, on your social profiles, on your back of your business cards, on your pull-up banners, whatever it is. So again, you've got to think what works for them at this stage. I've given some examples. So at the welcome stage, at the adopting stage, you might say, right, I want to give new clients a welcome pack. Well, this very much depends on your business. So it might be a welcome pack consists of actually a how to work well with us guide. A kind of, right, if you really want to work well, this is what you need to do. This is where you go to for extra help. It could be that lumpy mail is really well received. So you might say, right, actually, I know that my customers would really appreciate a little parcel or a goodie bag that either I could drop in or post to them full of merchandise or useful things for them. What does it's all about them. What do they want? What do they want? So you have to think, how are you going to give them that information? One thing I would say is that all of that information has to be signposted to the next step, So if you're doing an infographic, it has to signpost your downloadable guide. If you've got your downloadable guide, you might want to pop on it some of that proof. You've got a 30 minutes inquiry call. Well, how are you going to signpost the right people to that? What stage do you decide that you want them to book that 30-minute inquiry call? So how are you going to give them that info? Then step 4 is the when. Figure out how often you're going to give them this information. Be realistic. I always say to people, I could create you the most amazing marketing plan ever, but I need to know how much you can give to it. And the big trick here with marketing is be consistent. It is much better to do something once a week regularly than do it 3 times a week for the first 4 months and then, oh my gosh, I've got customers to look after, my team needs support, and it drops off. Consistency is key. When I work with people on my Design a Successful Marketing Pipeline program, I'm often paring back what they want to put in here. I'm often saying, but can you really do that? You've told me that you've got to spend so many hours a week with these clients. You've told me that this element of your business takes this much time a week. And if they don't have the time, who can they bring in to do it? My top tip here is that data will provide the insight to what's needed. There is often a sweet spot. And the sweet spot is what you're trying to find is I always think of it as how low can you go? And I will play this game with my marketing. I think, how low can I go? How often can I get things out there, but at the lowest possible level? So is it that actually I only need to do a social once a week? Is it that I only need to do a webinar once every 6 weeks, once every 8 weeks? And I will play around and then I will look at the results. And I don't just look at the results for that individual piece of marketing. I look at what happens throughout my whole marketing pipeline. Because if we go back to our goals and KPIs, remember, to get 4 new clients a month, you need 12 inquiries a month, which means you need 36 downloads a month. So if I'm not hitting those 36 downloads, then I know that I'm not going to get those 4 new clients a month later on. And that's where that visibility of your pipeline comes in. Setting those goals and KPIs are really important. So figure out how often you'll have to give this info. Be realistic. Consistency is key. Consistency is often better than just irregular. More, nothing. And then step 5, figure out the resource you need. You can see how, as you're working through all of these, you'll be going back and tweaking as you go along. And that is really, really normal. Please don't worry about that. So what will often happen here is I'll be saying to people, and this is in weeks 4 and 5 of my Design a Successful Marketing Pipeline course, we're saying, right, so we've said we want to do something 3 times a week. Well, what's that going to involve? If you're going to put out an infographic, for example, who's going to create it? Are you able to create it? Do you have the time? Okay, you don't have the skills, so you're going to need someone to come in and do that. Is that a virtual assistant? Well, if that's 3 times a week that you want them to get something out there, so they've got to create it, maybe post it, write the words, so how much money is that going to be a month? But if you're going to run adverts, how much budget can you spend? Okay, what do you need to do to get your 72 new people a month for your adverts? Okay, you only got 100 to spend. Well, let's just put that in the budget for the moment and check that works. And then you start to work your way down. Think, right, okay, I want to create a downloadable guide. I want it to look amazing, professionally produced, great photos, graphically, your graphic design, lay it out. How much is that going to cost to create it in total? How much is it going to cost to put out the proof of what we do? The proof all the time, qualifications, testimonials, reviews. Well, that's going to require marketing time. It's going to require website time. Well, how much is that? Okay, if we're going to do 30-minute inquiry calls and we want 12 inquiry calls a month, well, there's prep time before, because obviously you're going to do a bit of research about them, check them out. Let's say an hour per call, that's 12 hours per month. That's got to go in the diary. You can start to see as you unpick it all and you say, right, what's the time, the money, the skills that are needed? You might go back and revise things. So you might say, actually, that's a bit bonkers. If I've got to put 12 hours per month in my diary to do these 12 inquiry calls, then I don't have as much time to create the infographics that I have to get a VA in. Or, well, actually, I've got 2 days per quarter in the diary for all of these client phone calls that I'm going to do, where I'm going to just sit down and bash through phone calls or one-to-ones with previous clients, create a client newsletter. Can I take some of that out? Do I see if that VA can also do my client newsletter? You can start to play around with it. What I will say is take your time over this. Take your time over this. This is really important stuff, because when you get it right, you know what marketing you need to do to get the results you need. And as always, with all of these things, look at your data. Try something, see what happened. And don't just see what happened at the stage you've tried it at. See what happens further down the line. I was with a client the other day and they have an ebook that is phenomenally popular, hundreds of downloads. Only once has it actually converted to a client. And the reason it gets hundreds of downloads is because it's students in their subject area who have found it. And the students go, this is a brilliant guide. It's a guide to Bayesian econometric modeling, in case you're interested. Yes, very niche. And they've only had one client once who said, yeah, I found your guide and I thought that was amazing and I really needed to bring you into our business. Okay, so they know that now. So that guide is kind of, it's left there because it's useful, it's interesting, it does get the occasional person go, oh, brilliant. But they discard that from their downloads because they know it's just the student version. And that is absolutely fine. They're happy with that. But they know that because they've looked further down the pipeline. It would be so easy for them to go, 100 downloads a month. Amazing. We're going to get loads of inquiries through as a result of that. No. So that's why you don't just look at your data for one stage, you look at what's happening throughout the whole of your marketing plan and marketing pipeline. So if you want to do all of this with support, because as I said, it is big, it is huge, there are different ways that you can have me in your business. You can choose from, obviously, my 5-week Design a Successful Marketing Pipeline course. I run this a few times a year, so get in touch, find out more about that. It is an investment of your time and money because it gives you back incredible value. It gives you a marketing plan that really, really works. And in fact, participants on the course find that even as they're doing the program, they're already starting to see more profit in their business and getting things to a point where they know what's happening and they can link it directly to results. You can do my 3-month coaching program. That's very specific to you. We decide what goals we want to set and I help you achieve those goals. There's a strategic director package where I can come into your business once a quarter. We do a half-day workshop and you get a bit of support from me in between times. Or there's consultancy, and that's for one-off projects where you might say, persona, can you come in and run a workshop for us on it and help us nail that? Yeah, of course I can. Get in touch. As you know, I've got loads of free resources and events. So go over to the insights page, find those videos, find those articles. There's more webinars. I've got an ebook you can download. Do make the most of all of these wonderful free resources because they'll really help you in your marketing journey. And if you found this useful, please tell everyone. Please, can you write a Google review because that really helps with our marketing. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Go out there and create a marketing plan that works.